My name is Daniel Porte. I go by DaPo Glass. I work here at It's All Goodz in Tempe. What got me into glasswork? My Jerome Baker bong in 1996-ish. It's funny to think back to that. Going to the Grateful Dead and Fish shows, and I watched a guy at Deer Creek in the old days blowing glass in the campgrounds at the concert. I must have watched him for a day or two just with no glasses on, just so focused on picking up anything I could. I was determined to learn. I borrowed a welder's cutting torch from my uncle, who owned a metal fabrication company. The local head shop loved me, so they let me set up out back, and away I went, melting glass and trying to figure it out. Over the years, I've encountered a lot of people that back in the day we didn't really have too many people to teach us anything, so it was more just learning word of mouth, going to different shows and just meeting different people that were out selling glass and asking them how they pulled off certain techniques and really puzzling together how you do everything. Whereas nowadays you can take classes from many people or learn on YouTube, or there's many more avenues these days than there were back in the day. I guess I'm what they call old school. I just wanted to learn how to make anything glass. It started off making hitter bats and pipes. I never thought I'd be making bongs or anything that large a scale, let alone making an image in glass. So it's been I think about 23, 24 years into all this. So it's been a long ride. I was inspired to do Millie or Murini when I encountered Millie Mike Warren, who was a Humboldt artist that was one of the originators of borosilicate Murini back in the early to late 90s. I had some Millie that I had acquired back in the day, but he was just a fable and a legend until I ran into him about 6-7 years ago at the Degenerative Flame Off in Eugene, Oregon, where seeing the large amounts of Murini in person, it was just so impressive to see all these little tiny pictures in a cane to like seeing big bars and the dude right in front of me that made it and be like, "You're Millie Mike, holy cow, I gotta learn how to do this." And I'd also say I was inspired by Marcel Braun, who does large-scale hot shop style boro work. I just really wanted to do big work, and Millie seemed like the thing. And like I was saying before, it really allows me to be have a little more creative influence in my work. It's not always the same thing every day. Every build is a different structure. Everything is a different challenge. It's not the same repetitive thing doing it over and over again. All the little lines within the face are different components. So all the complex areas where there's a mouth or a nose or eyes are all individual parts that are all individually made one at a time. And then a segment of each of the canes are assembled into the full face. So if that kind of gives you an idea, a broad idea of how it's created. Currently, Holly and I are the only resident artists here at Goodz at the moment, but many artists have worked through this space over time. A lot of the Arizona locals and a lot of famous demoing artists have graced the stage here at It's All Goodz. I'd say I enjoy working here, yes. Arizona's been good to me. Did you try it with the lenses on it? Did it help, or? No, it's like a cozy little campfire, right? So all of this tubing I already decorated earlier on a larger blank, and then I pulled it out to this size, but when I pull it out from the larger size, sometimes it pulls out a little crooked in spots, so I'm going back and cleaning up all the wall thicknesses of the tube and trying to parallel everything out. This tool I'm using is made by a glass blowing company that's based out of Arizona, the Blast Shield. They're really good people. But just like I was saying, this is all just preparatory work to the tubing to get it all paralleled. And then I'll take it over to the lathe over there once it's paralleled up and running true. In the kiln evens everything out and anneals it. They sit at 1050 degrees Fahrenheit. Generally I leave it on about a half hour before I shut it off and leave for the night. And then everything slowly cools down over the course of the night so that it doesn't crack or cool down too quickly. And the foot pedal is to control my outer stages of my torch. My torch is a multiple burner torch, so it has one torch within another torch within another torch. And what the pedal is doing is shutting off airflow to the outer controls so that it shuts off the bigger torch by foot pedal control, so that I can save gas and not sit here cooking my face off. And if I need a smaller flame without having to adjust the valves with my hands so that I can have my hands free to manipulate the glass, the pedal comes in handy. Punty or puntial is what we use to hold on to the glass. This little piece of solid rod. So I have many solid rods and tubes all over my bench for quickly attaching a new handle, or say I need to cut a section off the glass and need to weld a new blow tube to it to pull a little section off. That's why us glass blowers have tons of piles of crap all over our bench. This right here is a graphite L-marver made by the Blast Shield, which is a Arizona glass blowing tool company. They make some of the best tools in our industry, and they're based right here out of Phoenix. But the L-marver is a graphite plate with a bottom base and a back plate so that it can marver or shape the glass as I turn or as I rotate the glass around on the L-marver. It pushes it wherever I need it to go. So to make colored glass tubing, we fill a crucible pot in a furnace full of glass color and dip clear tubing into it, and then pull that into a bigger, longer colored tube. So to accelerate that mass before pulling, you would utilize a really big torch like this. So we're going to have potentially going to have a really cool demo here on 710 with Luke Wilson Leisure Glass, who's a lathe expert. He's one of the people that really showed me a lot of how to utilize a lathe in my career. Come out to It's All Goodz and check us out. We got probably the headiest shop here in Arizona. It's a great place and good people, and they work out really good deals, so check them out.